Hi, thank you for watching Edo Video Blog. Today from Dubai, United Arab Emirates. When you are often on YouTube, you probably have heard the term generational wealth. Generational wealth is when parents provide a sufficient capital for their offspring. Now, I've been promoting that also in the past when I did videos about dividend investing. Hi, leuk dat je kijkt naar een nieuwe videoblog. Ik ben vandaag in Frankrijk, in Port Grimau. Dat is een klein plaatsje vlakbij Saint-Tropez, aan de Côte d'Azur. En dividend investeren als passief inkomen is echt slapend rijk worden. So I explained there, it's in Dutch, but I explained there the same. I said like you have to build a dividend portfolio so your children will be provided with enough capital to live off the rest of their life. Or at least give them a good start in life. So that they, for example, can do a down payment on a residence that they want to buy, or any of these things. Maybe study or whatever. That was my more normie kind of thinking in 2017, 18, 2019, all before the sea virus thing happened. And then I started to focus more on this world is a really different place than we all thought. I was always aware of many things, but then I realized that yes, you have to do it now. You have to change now. And generational wealth, passing down your wealth to the next generation, is very noble. And I appreciate it. It's excellent. It's a good way of thinking. Too many of the previous generations have just blown all the capital, and yeah, their children have to start all over again. It's not very smart. So that thinking is very good. I appreciate it. But I have changed my thinking now. I moved away from capital in the sense of money, of stocks, of property, real estate, to natural wealth. And for example, animals. If you create a small farm with animals, you can have, of course, as many animals as you want, and then you can give your children some of the animals. The best animals will go to your children. For example, you start with goats, and you have like 200 goats, and you get 12 children. So you give them all like 10 goats. They have a great start because they don't need to start all over. They get the best goats because you have time to select all the best goats over the years that they're growing up. And then you give them an excellent herd of goats. For example, goats that will provide you with very fatty, healthy milk. No, not all goats will give a lot of milk. Some will not even give any milk. So you have time to select for them the best goats. And you help them, you help your children from the start. They don't have to do all that stuff. They can start directly in a very good position. So they can give the milk, the very healthy, nutritious milk to their children. And they can slaughter the healthy goats and eat them. So that's one.
Please help Jonathan Jacob and subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share it on your social media. Blessings from Dubai!
Now another thing is that you can buy land largely, not just a small part, a small plot, but you buy a large plot of land. Multiple hectares. So eventually your children can build a living place on your land, and you share that land. Now that is true generational wealth. You help your children, you already provide a place for them to stay. They don't have to worry about mortgages, about getting a boring job or doing boring studies to do something. Probably also a waste of time because AI is taking over many jobs. But that is real generational wealth. Buying land large enough to house all your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren on that plot of land. And of course you can direct it in the way that you want it. You can say, okay, I want to live nearby a well so that we always have fresh water. We can, of course, you can grow fruit trees there. You can make it as optimal as possible so that your children don't need to do that. You can plant trees, for example, sweet chestnut trees, and also you provide some form of food and also some wood, of course. You are planning, you're preparing. That is real generational wealth. Because stocks, real estate, it's all nice, it's all great, but the government can tax it easily, can take it away from you, and it's more something to worry than if you have a plot of land and you grow your own food and you have animals there. Of course, they can also take that, and I know everything, but they are more prone to attack the middle class. Governments, they profit the most from the middle class. So the people that are working in the system are obeying to everything that they say, and they are helpless, because middle class are helpless. They cannot provide for themselves. They are reliant on the government. Yeah, so the government can say, well, you need our help. Great, we tax you the maximum. Whilst the self-sustaining weird people like me, yeah, it's not really an interesting group for them. They barely consume anything. They provide for themselves. Maybe they can make rules that they take the animals away, but people like me are simple. We say, okay, if you bother us, we just go to another country. Bye-bye. It's not that difficult to move to another place and start over again. It's a pity, of course, because you did all the work. But, for example, with living in a middle-class family in the city, you have no other option besides getting homeless. So I think that, of course, there's always the scenario, the doom scenario. People say, oh, but the government can do this, that. Sure, that's true, but then you move to another country. Many people did that before. They moved, for example, to Southern America, Latin America, when couldn't find their optimal living in Europe anymore. They moved to the United States, and for example now United States, they feel the scrutiny towards people that want to live differently, and they move, for example, back to Europe again, to Portugal or some other country in Europe where they're welcomed, where they can live as they desire. But true generational wealth is, of course, having animals, breeding them, making them strong, create strong animals, buying land so that your children can live on the land, planting trees so that you have enough wood for the rest of your life, and regrow also the trees that you cut down. And that is real generational wealth, because if you do so, your children really do not need anything else. A dividend portfolio is great, it's nice. I'm not saying that it's a worse option, but it's a middle class option. And there are always possibilities that something will happen with your stock portfolio, and manipulation is on the rise. There's all these things. Dividend cuts, you are depending on so many things. You don't have it under control. It's not in your own hands. Whilst with a plot of land, with animals, with fruit trees, with a well, it's in your hands. You can work on it. You are the one that is maintaining it, you're the one that is profiting from it. That's a great thing. So that is true generational wealth. Forget the other YouTubers with their real estate investing, with dividend stocks, with crypto. Real generational wealth comes differently, comes in the form of providing that all for your children. What I just named: land, animals, trees, and a ready-to-go plan for your children. So that's for today from the very civilized place. Dubai, United Arab Emirates. I say thank you for watching. I see you next time.